in this Invitational. They can only now watch afterwards. They don't qualify for this next portion of the process in this tournament. It's going to be Patience not playing with any, getting a fast elimination straight out of the gate, looking for his next one, as we see Agency is littered with more droppers, hot droppers more so as well, because everyone is now aware of who is going to be here, what weapon they will have. It's the drum gun competition once again. And he's possibly walking into a trap here, baited with the minis, but builds a wall right up to stop things and is being very careful, possibly got a hint. And oh my god, the creativeness of this player, the hop, skip, jump on the door, actually taking some damage back, but Patience has the raw damage to outsmart. 218 is a good spot to be in, but he might need to be playing a game of catch-up. So right now, this could be a hindrance in his journey, but still has enough bullets to pierce right through the builds.
And more decoys running in. He knows, though, that those are nothing. There he spots the actual player, and they actually distracted him. I've never seen decoys confuse your own self after using them. They ran through the wood, the hallway, and tried to break through the walls that clearly were not the right direction. Patience. But man, in this solos, it does not feel like this Brutus minigun is any effect at all. But right now, this fight still important. He has an RPG too. Almost shot that one out, but good reflexes to make sure that didn't happen. There's a really nice thing about the minigun is that you could actually use it to chase down people, and if they're not really careful about how they're placing their builds, if they're just trying to push one-off builds, hold on, they get in right in the box. And that was really nice from EDZ. And even seeing today, yes, there's been effects of the grappler, but not to the extent of the drum gun.
I feel like the open format might be clouding our judgment a little bit because,
yes,
obviously, Agency, the drum gun is going to be the easiest thing to navigate compared to every single other weapon. But I feel like just the essence of where the drop is in location, right, what's around it, how you can rotate off of it, will be the true kind of factor as to where everyone's going to be trying to drop the most. Like, the big thing about the grotto is that it's very central. Although Agency is at the very middle of the map, it's kind of very high risk. You can't really rotate off of it to something that's uncontested nearby. The grotto can always make a quick exit with that silo straight over to Dirty Dock, straight over to Junkyard, into Retail Row if you're that desperate. It's a good escape tool that we saw in duos, which is going to be even more easier to pull off in solos. You won't have to worry about a teammate. And then the effects of this, right? Like we see it happen with the drum gun all the time. I think the minigun was the OG get in the box, I don't care about you building, wrap around weapon. Of lacks of or a lack of confidence. Switching back to Brick will have some defensive measures, but running through his hard mats very fast, possibly overbuilding as well, but I don't think Patience cares either. Now in the same box, has ramp control, it's double edited, and Dopey can't even react. His sticks or his mouse stuck in a position that's easy to be shot at, an instant headshot.
Don't have the fortunate situation to have a legendary pump, will not be able to one-tap you.
But see, my counter argument is that the only reason you ever need recovery every time, man. Every time.
Oh, you're right about that, but man, I don't know. I think we've seen so much of one thing that would definitely brighten my day a little bit. He's going to go into the box, though. That is white HP on the other side, and he easily cleans that up. A good opportunity, but now he's got to get back up and heal, while Zone stops right next to him. He's got a minute to play with, and he has a launch pad if he needs to get away. And
I think Sloth is definitely scared because, man, it's not only the fact that it makes you go crazy, it makes the lobby suddenly perk up their ears, hear the rattle. And I feel like he's doing fine right now. I think this is the second time you've seen Tap actually go down back-to-back in games, long range, unfortunately, so
W-key-ish lobbies where people are trying to get as many eliminations as they can before they leave out and grab into the next queue. But speaking of that, queues are now closed, and this is now the last opportunity that people really have to accrue points.
And this might be the POV of one of the second last games we've seen. Just remember that we are on a little bit of a delay here, so we will be seeing games possibly just one back from what's actually happening live. So might have a POV coming up right after this one as to what is up.
This is EDC right now, by the way, up in top of Zate Hill that you mentioned earlier. This is the same player we saw in towards the end game of last one.
A few same names now. We finally see the... If you try to just go in and wait for someone to shoot you, that could be the end of you, because the whole lobby is just looking for an opportunity to bounce off on. And if you stay static for too long, Neck is there, and he gets it done. Over for that player. But still, someone on his wall. He has to go for another fight straight up. Real quick, box to box. Floppers are swapped out for some of the minis. He still maintains a max stack. And now he tries to just run away towards the zone. You have to remember, not his wall, so it'll be slightly delayed. Neck at the back gets shot up down to 24 HP, and that might prompt Nico to stay slightly far behind. But the floppers are not going to be enough to maintain a health pool to stay alive. Nico, top 30 now, pushing up past the leaderboard, dodging so many shots, possibly making it to the core. No, uses his own builds, but he's at that infamous spot that we see many players unable to pass. It's going to be the land of multiple angled beams, and he too will fall to the trap.
You just gotta try instantly. If you end up in a situation like that, where you land by yourself in the open, instantly you've got to use all your hard materials to make as wide of a base as possible, because you know that it's coming. You want to try to connect even to somebody else to break that angle, break the line of sight. Kenny's going to go for height and fit zone. He gets right on top, misses the shot, but he gets boxed in together. Oh my goodness. It doesn't matter how many shots he misses. It catches him by surprise enough that no matter what, he now has the results. I think he has high ground, and I think it's for free unless somebody else took it right back. No, it is just him. And with the grappler, you see somebody like Zexro instantly from this position. Yes, he's on height, but you would see this 6 zone going across the way, all across the farm. He would instantly drop down, grapple across to get himself a nice position to work with moving forward.
We'll see what Kenny ends up doing, because these are the new playstyles we see developing, right? Not everyone is there with the experience of Zexro, with the mind of a man who's won multiple tournaments. These are people who are now the first time, sometimes for a lot of them, in this position to have a namesake for themselves, to build a legacy. Slots, the other side of the power loadout with the drum gun, will look to play mid-ground. If he comes in contact with someone right next to his box, if he sets up a trap, it could spell a 2-second quick elimination into pushing him even more forward into momentum towards the next one, and then hopefully the win. Right now, though, the plan is to stay mid-ground, to stay secured, to make that room closer between him and his enemy. He'll do that, station up, and then look for more elims.
He's gonna make a little peek box down below. 14 players left in this one. This isn't that crazy. Kenny, who we saw earlier with the grappler, he's up on heights. A lot of people playing right next to each other, close, ultimate low. Not a single person really has a full-on tarp down on mid-ground. The zone is going to continue. No, it kind of turns and goes back in a direction. And we see players launching up on height. An optimal time to use it, but also an optimal time to get beam. It's going to be Sloth, who does get up a little bit. Doesn't have and doesn't identify a target just yet. He's going to phase in the box, though. That's what you use with the drum gun. A nice pump shot in between to finish things off.
And now he's got some room, and we've got a traditional game on our hands, because we're in the 7th zone with 10 people left alive. Something you'd normally see in a game that's just slightly moving fast, but yet still stacked. And now Sloss will move up just a few layers, try to get his own position on a layer in the zone, moving as fast as possible towards the next safe position, so he can look back, get a few more beams, play calm, but still be aggressive.
And he is going to start pressuring up on height, the grappler player. A lot of people now. We're moving to the 8th zone. And it's going to be struggles on top. He has an RPG. He reloads that. And where is this target going to be? Is he going to be able to actually pressure somebody off of looking at him?
And while Sloss is in here with a drum gun, we know that Kenny holds that grappler. He swats right beside, and who's going to have the most powerful loadout? It will be Sloss, who now has the big swing of both the agency and the shark. Up top, though, we know this individual has an RPG. Sloss, you said the bigs are so monumental in making sure it makes you stay up top, alive, and healthy. Sloss, not having that confidence of a full pool, will still elect to go straight to a box, dodges an RPG with the grappler, moves ahead, and using the style of Zexro to get to the next position to make sure he stays safe, to still upkeep the pressure. He's now looking for a way to open up this game, to get Man Struggles, who had a trap all the way there at Crackshot's cabin, off the top. Here it is, it's the move. Still holding on to just 5 shields. He goes for the up top play, doesn't get it, drops down, gets shot up in the back with a combination of fall damage, goes down to about 40 HP, but has the shields once again to come back up. 8 elims, a possible edit available, doesn't actually get it, and gets answered back back still. 8 elims is a good place to end that game. Now Manstruggle's actually lost height. A huge RPG to break so many builds. The combination of a launch pad. Does he get it? Yes, that opponent was out of materials and he still has 400 to go. Manstruggles with a huge come up, but no, it's Mags and Scuba up top at a final 1v1 for height, but there's a missing opponent. No, that was Struggles who took out Rise from the zone. Final 1v1 now. Scuba though, less builds available, has the floppers, drops down, looks for safety. Does he know that there's no one here on low? Yes, he does. Now doesn't actually have the opportunity to beam down. It'll be a 1v1. He doesn't see the tree drop down. A block with the ramp. The backwards 199 shot. Scuba with no HP. A sliver just available. 0.5 wraps up